to see Sonic, Tails, Knuckles all on the same screen, live action. Like, come on. Kid's dream come true.
Welcome to WatchMojo's Poppin the Culture, your weekly entertainment touchpoint. And me, well, I'm your host with the most, Mojo, of course. That's right, it's me, Mr. Hollywood himself, Matt Demers. I think it's safe to call this episode Supersonic, because I'll be speaking with Majdoub, who plays Agent Stone opposite Jim Carrey in the Sonic the Hedgehog films. Plus, I have an exclusive interview with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. No, for real. You'll have to wait to find out what that's all about, because first, we're jumping into things with our Hollywood headlines. All right, as we do each and every show, we kick things off with a look at some of the more notable headlines out there in Hollywood. I need help breaking it down, and I love when we get her back each and every time the WatchMojo Lady brings the fun. I'm talking Rebecca. Hey, how's it going, Rebecca?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to hear some of your hot takes. That's one thing I learned about you. You always got the hot take.
Oh, boy. Okay, wait. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Today, I am waiting for FedEx to deliver my DeLorean Lego.
Oh, you got the DeLorean Lego?
I sure did. I
guess, I shouldn't act so surprised, but I'm insanely jealous that you have that. That's pretty cool. So
yeah, and you can make it 1, 2, or 3. So it has all the different parts. I'm very excited.
No way.
Very excited.
Listen, yeah. I'm loving that Lego's putting out these like really fun stuff. I have the Seinfeld set.
Oh my
Lego.
Gosh. That's amazing.
I haven't completed it yet, and it's so fun to do, right? Because it's just nostalgia.
Mm-hmm. My sister has the Friends ones. I think she has the apartments and Central Park, and it is really, really cute. The details are so spot on. So, this is not brought to you by, not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but anyway. Someone asked me to do build videos, so maybe I'll do that.
Oh yeah. Do the time lapse where you set it up and then you just.
I'll give it a try. I don't know.
Hey, listen. You know what would be fun, and this will go into my first topic here. If there was a Sonic the Hedgehog.
There is. There is.
Is there Lego for Sonic?
Yeah, I went to the Lego website, and the first thing I saw was a Sonic one, I think.
Oh, I'm sure you know what? You're probably right, because it is a hot commodity. Sonic, of course, at the time that this will come out, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 will be out in the world. I'm actually excited because I was a big fan of the first one. It actually took me by surprise how much I liked it, because remember the whole Sonic CGI catastrophe?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And then for them to do the redo so kind of quickly, actually, it surprised me. And then they made it good. I was like, wow, that's like one of the first times they've actually been able to overcome that harsh criticism. And now I'll get you to chime in on the new Sonic and whether you're excited, but I also want you to talk about Mr. Jim Carrey, who plays Dr. Eggman, Robotnik. They're saying this could be his last film because Jim has come out in interviews saying he has enough. He's going to take a break. So could Sonic the Hedgehog 2 really be Jim's last movie? Okay, let's start with the movie itself. Are you in? Are you going to buy a ticket? Are you a Sonic fan?
I'm super in. I am in. Okay, so the first one was one of those movies where I was like, whatever, I'll watch it. Yeah. It's got a bunch of people I like. I am a huge James Marsden fan. I think he's very underrated.
Yes. No, I argue this a lot. He's just effortlessly enjoyable. You just like him.
Yeah, but he's also
or hate him in the
He's
X-Men
very
movies.
attractive.
Yeah. Oh, you like him for other reasons.
Do we hate him? Well, no, but he's a good actor. Like, he's a very good actor. I love him in 27 Dresses. Like, he's a great romantic lead that he doesn't get to do that much. He's a great singer. Anyway, I don't need to extol the virtues of James Marsden forever and ever, but I could.
I say, in the X-Men movies, he's Cyclops, and I was always Team Wolverine. So that's why
gotcha.
But that was so fun to see them kind of bicker. Yeah.
Yeah, but they cover up his face. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
No, wait, am I going to screw it up? I am. Okay, for some reason, and I don't know why, I mix up Ben Schwartz and Adam Scott. I don't know. Anyway, but I like them both. So whichever one, Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz is Sonic,
yes.
Correct? Yes. Okay, so he's great as Sonic. And of course, I don't want to age myself too much, but I am a child of Jim Carrey movies.
Oh, yeah.
So he's, I think he's a great actor, like in serious roles, and whatever he wants to do, let him do it. But I do love to see him doing like Jim Carrey, and this is what these movies give him an opportunity to do. Yeah. So I'm happy to see that again.
No,
but
I
don't think it's his last movie.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a break, and then he'll get the itch to go back. And I think we talked about this before, where it looked like Jim was really having fun in that first movie. So I'm really hoping he kind of brings the Jim Carrey-ness to the second one. It's getting good reviews. I mean, it's obviously on my list to check out. Rotten Tomatoes has it scoring pretty good with critics, which is, when it comes to family movies, that's always iffy. But the fans seem to be enjoying it. And then Knuckles is in here. Idris Elba doing the voice of Knuckles. Right?
Yeah, I can't wait to see how that works, because I am admittedly not super up on my Sega lore, but it's an unexpected casting choice for me. So I don't know. I don't think I know what what Knuckles is.
Well, he's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Turned.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to do spoilers, but in this one, yeah, that's fun.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, this should be fun. Idris Elba deserves a chance to have some fun too. So,
is it too late for him to be cast as Bond? Has that ship sailed? Idris Elba. He was always like rumored, and then now it's,
Well, give him his own series.
Yeah.
Didn't he have his Isn't Luther kind of Bondy? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what he said in an interview. He said, "I don't need to be Bond. I could always do my own thing." Speaking of movies getting reboots and recastings, this is interesting. I want your thoughts on the new Crow reboot. This is a movie that I actually really enjoyed. So much lore about what went on behind the scenes. Obviously, a tragic on-screen shooting, which mirrors kind of some stuff that happened with Alec Baldwin. But it wasn't the last Crow movie. I think they did a few other stuff. There was actually like a TV show, all kind of very forgettable. Then they were going to do something with Jason Momoa, which I was kind of intrigued in. Now, and that got scrapped. Now it's a go. This is officially a reboot with Bill Skarsgård and FKA Twigs taking on this franchise. What are your thoughts? The Crow.
Okay, full disclosure, I have never seen anything Crow related, but I am slightly superstitious, so it makes me a little bit nervous for these people. I know that might be a hot take. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't want to see anything bad happen to any of these people.
You're not wrong, because I think when people think of the Crow in that movie, that's the first thing they think of, right? Brandon Lee's,
which is a disservice, but it's a disservice to the story, because I think it's an interesting. I think it's probably a well done comic. It's a comic book, right?
It is a comic, yeah. It's great. It's a great comic. I've read a few, and that movie that Brandon Lee is in and tragically passed away while filming, and he filmed, I think it was like 95% of the film was actually shot, so that's actually him in there. There's maybe a few stuff at the end where they had to use obviously a double. That movie itself is actually really great. It's like so dark and gritty. Like I would put it up there as one of the best comic book films, period. So yeah, recommend it.
Well, I mean, I would be glad to see it get a not tainted adaptation in that case. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't distracting.
What do you think of Skarsgård? Do you think he can do it? Because he did some really interesting stuff with Pennywise, right?
Yes. So I'll always be a Tim Curry girl for the Pennywise situation, but that's a different story. And I would love to sidebar on this if you want. Do you Stephen King? Are you a Stephen King person?
I dabble in some Stephen King. Yeah, I dabble. I like me some Stephen King.
So if you don't mind, at the end of this, I'd love to come back to that. But I think it'll be great, because I think Bill Skarsgård is a chameleon, which is why he was good as Pennywise, because Pennywise is a shapeshifter. So it should be interesting. And now, did I see was it fan art or was it a real picture of him as the Crow?
No, it would have been fan art. They haven't done.
Yeah, okay.
Aside from casting, we haven't got any official images. But I can't imagine. No, I can't imagine they'd stray too far because it's I mean, the classic look, right? The long hair, the white paint, and then the stuff around the eyes with the black. So that looks good. What's your take on Stephen King? Are you itching for?
Oh
a
no,
King
I'm a
movie?
huge fan.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but no. Stephen King tweeted.
Yeah.
People keep. What did he tweet? It was something like, people keep asking me who would win in a fight, Pennywise or Randall Flagg, which is like the big bad in the Stephen King overall universe, but mainly the Dark Tower and other books. And he's like, who's to say they're not the same person? And it blew my, can I swear on this? Probably not. My effing mind. Okay. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I could talk about that for years.
There you go. Hey, WatchMojo should do a versus and then get King to chime in.
I should have suggested that today. Good point.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
I will do that now.
Rebecca, Easter is coming up. Easter's a little holiday. Now, unlike some other holidays like Halloween and Christmas, there's always like go-to movies. I'm obviously a movie guy, and I constantly get asked around this time of year, what's a good Easter film for people to check out? And I'm always left kind of doing a little Google search. Nothing really comes top of mind. I think like maybe movies to do with rabbits, maybe like a Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit, no.
So I tasked you and I said, do you have any Easter recommendations? Did you come up with any?
I think just a fun family movie, really. Like, what about Goonies?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but because I said so. Give it a try. I've never actually seen it, so maybe I'll give it a try. Because there's a hunt. There's a treasure hunt. And you do an Easter egg hunt. There, I made it make sense. Right?
Like I need an excuse to watch Goonies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's mine, because I something with a rabbit.
Oh, lovely. Love it.
God, I love that movie.
Good choice.
So great, so great. All right, maybe people...
Scary.
Is it scary?
Oh. Okay, I'm not going to spoil for those who haven't seen, but the villain is terrifying.
Doom, right? What's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Judge Doom.
Where he puts... Yeah. He gets rid of the tunes. There's one scene... Oh, I know. I can see the dark elements where he puts them in like some sort of acid.
The dip.
The dip. Oh, man.
Poor shoe.
But I saw that movie as a kid, and I'm surprised that it didn't scar me too much. Hey, Rebecca, this has been fun, but I need you to do me a favor and not go anywhere, because me and you, we got to take a little trip, and that trip is beyond the list. All right, Rebecca, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dig deep in our vast archives of WatchMojo top 10 lists, pluck one out, go beyond that list, have a little bit of fun. And today, actually, I'm doing a little something special. I chose this one in particular because there's been some news, kind of sad news, about Mr. Bruce Willis, an actor that I'm a fan of, and a little disturbing. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. He's having to retire. He's had some difficulties. I forget the name of the condition that he's had.
Aphasia.
Yeah.
I think it's a form of dementia, actually.
It is, yeah. That's exactly what it is. But now there's also disturbing stuff coming out about him. If you notice his filmography in the past, 4 years, he's put out something like 22 movies that have been direct to video on demand. So there is some disturbing stuff about him maybe being used for just 1 day of shooting, and he's having trouble remembering lines. He's got earpieces telling him the lines to say. It's all very sad. So what I want to do now with you is go over some of Bruce Willis's best movies. I want to remember the good stuff because he is an icon, and WatchMojo's got us covered. Of course they do. The top 10.
Can I just say that
Willis.
What is not on this list, because it is not a movie, is his performance on Friends. While I know there was a reason for it, and I think it was because is it The Whole Nine Yards he's in with Matthew Perry?
Yes.
And he was like, I will be on your show for free if this movie does well, and then the movie did well. And so he was on, or something like that. I don't know and it might have been one of those urban legends. But anyway, and he did a fantastic job. He was so funny on Friends.
he's like shockingly funny. Yeah, if you want to go down a bit of a rabbit hole of Bruce Willis on talk shows, you'll laugh till it hurts, because he did some really fun stuff on the Letterman show, the Late Show.
Oh.
Like every time he would come on, he had like a chia pet head once. Really fun stuff. And then he did the roast. Remember the Comedy Central roast?
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
Oh yeah, so he took some heavy shots, but obviously had a good sense of humor about it. Like Bruce Willis, very much a cool guy. So let's remember some of the good stuff. I'm interested to see what lands at number one because I have a very big favorite of his, and
no question. There's no question.
I'm hoping it's number one. All right, number 10 is number 10 is Armageddon, 1998. Of course, it's got to be on the list. I don't know. That came out at the same time as a Deep Impact.
Did.
Were you Deep Impact fan or were you Armageddon? Because I kind of like Deep Impact.
I was an Armageddon person.
Yeah, I was the opposite.
I mean, really? Well, in those days, you either loved Ben Affleck or you didn't. Well, you either loved Ben Affleck or you loved Matt Damon. And in those days, I was pro Ben Affleck. So I saw Armageddon.
Armageddon's good. It's fun movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. But yeah, this goes to show that Bruce Willis is really great at, these big blow 'em up movies. Saving the world. I mean, come on. He's really good in here. Something a little different at number 9, Moonrise Kingdom in 2012. Are you a Wes Anderson fan?
I don't think I have seen one Wes Anderson film. Which is, I know the internet's going to be like, and you call yourself a cinephile? Actually, I don't. But I haven't. They're going to rip up my movie nerd card. But I don't know. I've never seen one.
They're good. I mean, I will say it's an acquired taste because I know people that love it and I have people that don't like it, and they're all very much in line with one another. Like the way he sets it and the details and the, just the whole flavor of those movies. So it was interesting to me when Bruce Willis was cast in a Wes Anderson movie. I was like, how is that going to work? Because you picture certain actors, and it worked really well. I think he did a great job in there. So something very, very different, not the action beat him up, but just goes to show the man's a good actor and he can be put in different movies. So yeah, no arguments there. Number 8 is 12 Monkeys. I just rewatched this, Rebecca, 1995, 12 Monkeys, and it still holds up, still very good. I loved it.
It probably holds up better now. But anyway, it's actually funny. When you were talking about Moonrise Kingdom, I was like, 12 Monkeys is a weird movie.
Yeah.
Like Terry Gilliam, it's Terry Gilliam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is a weird guy and makes weird movies. I mean, this is no Brazil, but so I wouldn't actually think that after that movie that A Moonrise Kingdom is a bridge too far for someone like Bruce Willis, because he's not typecast in 12 Monkeys at all.
For sure.
Or is he? No. Well, I don't know, because it kind of set up other movies, such as, I'm blanking, Looper.
Oh, I wonder. I don't know if maybe Looper is on the list. I love me some Looper. That was great. Yeah, that's the thing. Bruce Willis in different genres. So you see him in the action, which we're obviously going to talk about. I'm sure it's there. Sci-fi he could do. Comedy, we already talked about it. So great. Oh, well, look at this. Number 7.
And frankly, I liked his music. So there.
Oh, you're the one. Okay.
I'm the one.
Number 7's Looper, Rebecca. That's what I was going to say. Now we can talk about it. Looper with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That was fun.
Yeah. Okay. My one problem with that movie is it's a great movie. I love time travel. But my one problem with that movie is that they didn't trust the audience to believe that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Bruce Willis without like prosthetics. And I'm like, I don't need this. That was the one problem. But it's complicated.
What did they do to his? Because
I don't know, but he doesn't look right.
I think it worked. It wasn't distracting. I'm trying to think back and
I found it distracting.
It's not like when they did like the CGI of Henry Cavill's mustache, and it's not one of those. But yeah, Looper to me is a very underrated movie. I'm so happy it's on this list because it's one of my favorites in the sci-fi genre. And I thought he was great in there. This is around a time that Willis was getting a bit of a reputation in the late 2000s and early 2010s that he was kind of phoning it in. There's a lot of people saying, Willis is kind of phoning it in and taking that paycheck. And I remember when Looper came out and like, there, take that. He's not phoning it in here.
You mean with like is he in Red? Or is it the other one?
He did one. He did one with Kevin Smith
Oh,
at the
yeah,
directing chair, and that was highly criticized about him just kind of. And I think
was highly criticized by Kevin Smith.
I was going to say, yeah. Smith even said, "So much for."
He
working
apologized
with
for that recently.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I actually saw it on Twitter after all this news came out about Bruce Willis. Kevin Smith was like, "I had no idea this was going on," and I'd like to make amends, or I'm trying to make amends, and blah blah. blah.
And you know what?
I hope he does okay.
Yeah, and so when we found out recently about his condition, we don't know when exactly it started. So who knows? Maybe there was onsets of it at those times. So is it fair to criticize? Yeah, too much. But I remember that being like, yeah, Bruce Willis still got it, still pumping out the good stuff. We're almost at the midway point. Still some big hits here. Number 6 is Sin City. Listen, I know people that don't like it. I loved it. I'm a big fan. I remember it came out in theaters. The visual style, I remember watching it so much. I think I watched it like 5 times in cinemas. I was such a big fan. I'm a comic book nerd over here. I'll ring that bell, no problem. But I thought Bruce Willis fit so well into that movie.
I mean, yeah. What's there to say? Yeah, he fits, and it's just the visual thing that really makes it different. But it's kind of his bread and butter, no?
You say that, but you put certain actors in that visual style, and maybe it wouldn't work, right?
Maybe you're right.
And I thought that movie had amazing casting. Like they had Mickey Rourke as like that taxi driver, gruff guy, and yeah, that was great casting. But I thought Bruce Willis killed it. Okay, number 5. This one, yeah, Unbreakable, 2000. A little polarizing, I would say. A little polarizing. It has its fans and it has its detractors. Obviously, we got the quasi-sequel finale, which I don't expect it to be on this list, but I thought Unbreakable was pretty good.
I don't think it would be as polarizing if it came out today.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Especially with Samuel Jackson, but that's a different
Well, was this the follow-up to Sixth Sense for the director M. Night? Because I think maybe that's what it was. People were expecting like
maybe? No, maybe it might have been because Signs was after.
Oh, maybe it was Signs and then this, but yeah. So maybe,
no, Signs was 2002.
Oh, there you go. So I think maybe people were expecting more of a Sixth Sense. It did have the big ending reveal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it worked. Mm-hmm. And again,
Good
a very different movie, right?
For sure.
Not your typical superhero flick. Has he ever done he never did Marvel, Bruce?
No.
Never did a Marvel or a DC. He did G.I. Joe.
What would he play in? Oh, he would have been fun as Thanos.
He would have been fun as Thanos, yeah.
That would have been fun. Anyway.
Well, the reason I say it is because he's proved through Unbreakable and through Sin City that he can do the comic book stuff. So, But I think there probably wasn't a character that was the right fit. Unless you're just going to go off the bald head and you can be like Professor X.
I know. Well, that's why I picked Thanos. But I still think it would be fun.
Number 4. We're getting close, guys. Getting close. My movie's still in the running. Number 4 is The Fifth Element. No arguments there. Another fun sci-fi ride. Surprisingly fun, actually. 1997. Yeah, that was great. And he was fun, and this was a big action movie. There was comedy in it, and he had a lot to do, basically.
I have never seen this.
Oh no! Oh, Rebecca.
No, I know. I know a lot about it, but I've never seen it. But I feel like everybody else in this movie is going for it. Like Chris Tucker and Gary Oldman are very camp. So he's probably, I'm assuming, he's got to be kind of like the grounding aspect of the film. Because everything else is kind of out there, no?
100%. People ask what's in this big cabinet behind me. It's movies, DVDs. I have the 4K restoration of The Fifth Element. So what I'm going to do, Rebecca, I'm going to package a bunch of movies and send it to you. Send it to your house. So
okay.
when you get the ring at the door, it might be your Lego set or it might be my movie package. So
thank you. Appreciate
get ready for that. Number 3. Ooh, I thought maybe it would be number 2. Number 3 is Pulp Fiction.
Ooh, I thought it'd be number 2 too.
Yeah, 1994. Pulp Fiction. John Travolta's recently come out too to talk some nice stuff about Bruce in light of the news. So that's nice that their time on set together was enjoyable. This is good. This is Tarantino.
Were they in any scenes together?
It's a good question. I don't know if they really were. You know what happens a lot of time, and I talk to a lot of actors, and I'm like, oh, what was it like working with this person?
I talk to a lot of actors. Sorry.
The millions of actors that I talk to. Well, no, because I'm always like, you look at the cast and you're like, oh, what was it like working with this person? They're like, well, we never actually did scenes together, but we did the publicity tour together. Mm-hmm. And that's when you really get to know them, right? So that's probably what happened here. They probably had, I don't know if they really did have a scene together, but when they did like those publicity tours, the openings, and they spend a lot of time together. So that's when a lot of actors tend to do the bonding the most.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You know, the Pulp Fiction is such a fantastic movie, and it's a great Bruce Willis movie, but he's not the first person I think of when I think of that movie, which is unfortunate because like it wouldn't be the same movie without him, obviously, or his storyline.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, number 2. Oh, well, we talked about it. Yeah, I could see. Actually, you know what? All right, now I know what number 1 is. Number 2 is The Sixth Sense. Number 2 is The Sixth Sense, which I could have made it. Well, people could probably make an argument that it could be number 1. Was
that your number 1?
No. I'm saying I like the number 1, but I could see people putting this as their favorite Bruce Willis film because this is the movie.
They would be wrong though. Look, WatchMojo gets a lot of things wrong, but the number 1 on this list is not negotiable.
It's not negotiable. Okay. No, I'm with you. But
sorry.
We can't.
No, but The Sixth Sense is a great movie, and I think. Sorry to interrupt you, but like for me, for Bruce Willis, kind of the first time that I realized. Well, I mean, he was very cast against type, in my opinion, because it's not an action movie. It's really quiet. You know, he's a doctor. Yeah, he's a psychologist, I think. Yeah. Very not Bruce Willis, what you think of. But he's, again, the movie would be an entirely different film without him.
Yeah, absolutely. Haley Joel Osment? Osmond?
Mint. Toni
Whatever.
Collette. People forget Toni Collette's in that movie. She's the mom.
She is the mom, yeah. Toni Collette, of course. Mm-hmm. But Haley Joel has come out on Twitter, too, praising his time working with Bruce. He was, I don't know how old the kid was, but he said Bruce was very much like a father figure. For me, it's always like if you're in a movie that you know is not the greatest, but you're contractually obligated to kind of sell it. Maybe that's where
he wouldn't. No, I can't remember what movie it was, but he was not having it.
It was Red. The movie was Red.
It was Red. It was.
Yes.
It was. What's her name?
Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren.
No, no, the girl.
Oh, you're right. Yes, Parker. Molly Parker. No.
No. 3 names. Mary Louise Parker.
Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah.
See, between the two of us, we can get it. We should join like a trivia
We're getting to that
team.
age. We're getting to that age.
We'll join a trivia team at the bar and we can get it. But yeah, no, I know exactly the junket you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. No more of those moments, I guess, but they're like, okay, as someone, and I'm sure you can relate to this, as someone who is on this side of junkets, I hate to see stuff like that, but it's fun. Like, you know, it's also fun in a Schadenfreude kind of way.
No, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, he
TV.
must not have enjoyed that experience. It's not for everybody. And he definitely liked the late night talk show. That's where he seemed to excel at. So, okay. And number 1, do we even need to say it?
Die Hard!
Die Hard.
Love it.
1989. Yeah, no. I mean, it's a tradition.
88.
1988. You're right.
I know. Don't worry about it. I love Die Hard.
Yeah, no. Tradition in my house every Christmas. Don't at me. It's a Christmas tradition. But just a great movie all around. And we talk about him being effortless in his likability. Here, you're just rooting for him. He's just kicking. Nothing better than Bruce Willis kicking butt. He actually injured his hearing in this movie. He actually... I learned this from WatchMojo. Yeah, learned this from WatchMojo. He was filming a scene where he had to shoot under a table, and the noise just really injured his hearing. So he sacrificed part of his health for our entertainment, folks.
And his feet.
Yeah. And he still had...
Man, Die Hard is such a good movie. And they're all good. Even the bad ones are good.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there's... How many ended up...
Okay, well, maybe not all of them. I haven't seen the most recent one. So, fine. But 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, is it 4? Do I mean 4? No, 1, 2, 3.
Well, there was Die Hard
with watch all of them.
Die Hard with a Vengeance, Die Harder. I love the names, by the way.
So Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance, Die Hard 4 is A Good Day to Die Hard, and then Die Hard 5 is Live Free or Die Hard.
Yes.
Man, these are the best. We should do movie franchises with the best naming conventions, because like Die Hard has a really good one. Fast and Furious obviously has a really good one. Anyway,
there must be like I'm picturing like studios in a room for like hours just on a whiteboard. That's what I'm thinking. Too
fast, too die, too hard. No, I don't know. What's your favorite action scene in a Die Hard movie?
My favorite action scene. Well, you know what? The scene that if someone just says Die Hard to me, the image that pops in my head is Hans falling.
Okay.
That's the image. There's no, like, that's, I automatically go there, and knowing the story behind it, that he was actually pushed a little early for the take to get his genuine reaction. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hans falling.
I'm picturing Bruce Willis looking out the window, I think saying, "Welcome to the party, pal." Yeah, I also really like the scene where he's with, I don't know what the guy's name is, but one of the first terrorist he kills, and the guy's like, and he's like, "You won't kill me," and he's like, "Why do you know?" And he's like, "You're a policeman. There are rules for policemen." And I just love the way he says it. I feel like I've said it on this podcast before.
Well, there's also,
anyway,
you do impressions on the podcast. I love when you do it.
Sorry.
But he also has that the iconic image of him in the the space with the lighter. Yeah.
In the vents.
In the crawling around the vents. Yeah. Iconic stuff. Bruce Willis. We gotta love me.
Death Becomes Her is missing from this list. I'm just saying.
It's an honorable mention. It was an honorable mention. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about that, actually.
No? I didn't.
No, I asked for it. I don't know if it happened. Nobody listens to me, but Death Becomes Her, very against type for all of those people.
Never saw it, but it's been getting a lot of chatter lately. People have been clamoring for a remake.
No. You know what? Here's my rule. Never make a Robert Zemeckis movie again. Robert Zemeckis movies are as is perfect. End of discussion. I will not be taking comments at this time.
All I remember is the adverts for this film where they're like twisting their heads and like it's all very bizarre.
The hole in the stomach. It's really weird, but I like camp. It's very campy.
And Bruce plays
he's like the husband / he's a funeral director, I think, at a certain point. He's an alcoholic. He's like really miserable in his life, and he goes for it. He really goes for it. And it's a lot of fun.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm going to have a Bruce Willis marathon, movie marathon, celebrate a great career. All right, Rebecca, this has been really fun, but we got to get to our Mojo chat of the week. Guess who I got? Sonic the Hedgehog.
Who did you get?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my God.
Like the real Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles.
What?
Yeah, take a look. Our next guests need no introduction. They are literally out of this world. Say hello to Sonic the Hedgehog and his new buddy, Tails. How does it feel to be back in Sonic with a brand new movie?
Please, I'm going by Blue Justice now, trademark pending. And this is Tails. He's a double threat, fluffy and adorable.
I love it. You both are adorable, but what do you bring to the table, Tails?
I'm so nervous, Sonic. I've never been on camera before.
You're doing great, buddy. Show him what you can do. Pretty cool, right?
I'm definitely impressed. Tell me, though, how is this film different from the first one?
It is bigger and better in every way.
And I'm in it.
There's more action, more adventure, and since I have an agent now, there are perks. I have 4 words for you. Contractual chili dog breaks.
I have that too in my contract. But tell us about Knuckles. He's new to this movie. Tell me, what's Knuckles like?
Well, he plays an echidna warrior sent to destroy me at any cost. And between us, I like to improv, keeping things loose. Knuckles goes method. And between takes, it gets weird.
Well, you know what? We actually have him here in studio today. Knuckles, do you want to say anything?
I do not.
See, that's more than we usually get out of him.
Knuckles, how are you enjoying your visit to Earth? What's your favorite thing here?
Your society is full of soft and undisciplined weaklings. However, I do enjoy the planet's grapes. The grapes are delicious.
Wait till you try our wine. Sonic, how does it feel to, save the world?
Amazing. The kind of thing that only comes around once in a lifetime. Or twice. Maybe a third time if enough people watch the second time.
Between you and Tails, who's better at, the video games?
Tails tends to die a lot and then fly back in a few moments later.
All right. I know you only have a few seconds left, but before you go, any chance I could get a quick selfie? The folks at WatchMojo would be so jealous.
Absolutely.
It is Sonic the Hedgehog #2 is upon us. I'm actually really giddy because I'm a big fan of not only the video games and all the other cartoon properties, but that movie was so much fun. I've got, hey, look, Agent Stone is back. Lee, how are you?
Doing very well, Matt. How are you?
Are you as excited as I am that we got a second one of this? Because the first film seemed like a lot of fun, not only to watch, but to make. It seemed like, well, I mean, you're paired with Jim Carrey. It seemed like you two were having especially a good time.
Such a blast. I mean, to be involved in it, such a blast to see the scope of what they were going for. And then for me as a fan, like I got to watch the second one. I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. It's huge. And to see Sonic, Tails, Knuckles all on the same screen, live action, like, come on, kid's dream come true.
It really is. It really is. So we're infusing a lot of new elements in the second movie. We're upping the action, the fun factor, those characters. What part of the second film do you think audiences will enjoy the most? Like, what do you think they'll get out of it?
Oh man, that's a tough question to ask. There's so much good stuff. I mean, I think as far as a message goes, you've got Sonic trying to still like figuring out where his place is. Trying to be a hero. And I think we can all identify with, trying to do our best, trying to figure it out, making the mistakes. And then I think for me, it was just seeing like Robotnik, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, like that classic, group of people on screen together.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be great. Also, the great pairing of you and Mr. Jim Carrey, who I'm such a huge fan of. And I'm wondering, Lee, is that daunting working with someone of that nature? I can imagine, like, if I was put in a movie with Jim Carrey, I'd be like shaking in my boots because he's such a legend. What was your experience like with him? Because there was great chemistry there.
Yeah, I mean, on the first one, there was definitely a bit of anxiety coming in, growing up with Jim and being such a huge fan of his work and everything. But he's so easy to work with. I mean, the experience I had, like, generous, big-hearted, gracious. For me, a big surprise was like the collaborative element, because you don't know what you're walking into, and different actors work differently, and to get that opportunity to, for him to be like, hey, what do you think? And I was like, well, what do you mean what I think? Yeah.
No, I could totally see that. We here at WatchMojo, and this will be my last question for you, we celebrate all things popular culture, but our fans love a good villain. And when you look at the movie villain landscape, I mean, whether you I mean, your character's level-headed. He's a straight man, but you're an evildoer. Robotnik is for sure. You're the bad guy, Lee.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. That's your perspective, man.
But we are asking, who is your favorite movie villain of all time?
Oh, I'm going to go. It's a quick go-to. Besides Dr. Robotnik, I'm going to go Darth Vader.
Oh, there you go. Classic. He's the master of the dark side. Hey, listen, as I said, I had a lot of fun here with this movie, and I encourage everyone to check it out. It's Sonic the Hedgehog 2. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Big thanks going out to Lee, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. How cool were they? Plus, Rebecca Brayton, the WatchMojo Lady herself, for bringing the fun. And hey, thank you for watching and listening. Till next time, I've been Matt from WatchMojo. Poppin' that culture.